Hey, welcome back to Bourbon Barry's channel. So for today, I have a special tasting. The nice folks at the 10th Mountain Whiskey and Spirit Company out of Vail, Colorado sent me out 4 bottles to try, and we've got a bunch of stuff to try. This is their American single malt, their vodka, their brandy, and their Alpenglow sage-infused peach vanilla cordial. So I lined them up in this order because I really wanted to start off with their American single malt. So this is aged 2 years, comes in at 90 proof. I'm a big American single malt fan, and I'm super excited to try this. So a little bit about the company. So this company was founded in the Rocky Mountains, and it was named 10th Mountain in honor of the 10th Mountain Army Division. That was formed in 1942, and then ultimately those soldiers went off and fought the Germans. When the war was over, a lot of these soldiers came back to Colorado and took up the skiing lifestyle. And it turns out that there are over 60 resorts that veterans of the 10th Mountain Division ultimately went on to either manage or work at. So there's this huge tradition of mountain adventure and skiing within the 10th Mountain Division. The other thing that's cool is that that division still lives on today in the 10th Mountain Light Infantry Division, which is actually based in my state of New York in Watertown. So that tradition continues even today. And the company was formed as an homage to those fighting veterans of the 10th Mountain Division. So this is the American single malt. Now, I like American single malts. It's not everybody does, although quite honestly, I can't understand why. But the American single malts that I've had, they have some that I like and some that I don't. And to me, there's a certain profile that I think a good American single malt has. And it typically, for me, I want to get like this nice apricot fruitiness on the nose. And I definitely get that. You also get a little bit of this like chocolatey thing going on from the malt. And I know people are like, come on, man, give me a break about chocolate, right? But think about what this is made out of. It's made out of malted barley. And think about like Guinness. Guinness is made out of malted barley too. And I always get those kind of rich, you think about like a chocolate stout. And obviously not to the same degree here, but like underneath that bright fruitiness, that apricot, maybe like a tropical fruit thing, I always get kind of this like very rich chocolatey note. And I get both of them. So at least on the nose, this is off to what I consider to be a really good start for a good Colorado American single malt. Obviously, again, made from 100% malted barley. Yeah, this is really good. Super easy at 90 proof. And I think it's right on profile from what you want from a good American single malt. Now, just for a moment, it's not Scotch. Every time I give an American single malt to my friends to try, they start to complain about how peaty it is, even though there's 0 peat in this. So yes, it's made with 100% malted barley. It's not a Scotch because it's made in the United States. It's American single malt. But most of them, like this one included, there is not a suggestion of smoke. There's no peat, there's no smokiness. And what comes through to me, again, are those fruity, rich notes. Nice rich finish too. Super, super tasty. This is one that I think maybe if you want to give an American single malt a try, this is one to try. It's pleasant, it's not overpowering, it doesn't, bang you over the head with those kind of malty flavors. Sweet but not too sweet. And at 2 years of age, you get a little bit of that nice barrel influence too. Super tasty. And as always, if I'm getting any, I've never gotten compensation from any company. So no compensation. They did send these bottles at no charge. But other than that, I'm on my own to give an unbiased opinion. That is super tasty. So let's move that aside here. So now let's go on to their vodka. So this is made out of potatoes. Not much of a vodka guy, only other than, the vodka tonic like everybody else. And I don't, very rarely do I drink vodka neat. So this is definitely just a regular guy opinion here. But, I know what I like and what I don't like. Oh, very sweet. Sweeter than what I would think of for, let's say, maybe your traditional, potato vodkas. A nice bit of sweetness, some vanilla. That smells terrific. That's really good. So at 80 proof, I don't know. Sometimes to me, drinking vodka straight still kind of gives me that kind of rubbing alcohol thing. And I don't get that at all here. There's a lot of sweet notes that come through. Vanilla. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could detect. Again, it's not, my palate isn't tuned to this. I'll tell you though, this is pleasant enough that you could sip this neat. I don't know, maybe a little bit lower in proof for a cocktail. I guess it depends on, what kind of cocktail you're looking for, but it's actually quite good. So that's a winner too. One of my wife's homemade pottery glasses. So now I am really into some uncharted territory here. So this is 10th Mountain Brandy, a limited edition brandy made with exquisite Monterey, California Pinot Noir grapes. I don't have the right snifter here, so I never promised you I was perfect. Oh, that's interesting. Wow, so to me, I don't know what brandy's supposed to smell like. It's got an incredible, it smells like butter. It's incredibly buttery. Interesting. And on the palate too. I don't know if that's the right tasting note. I don't get much of the Pinot Noir. I don't get like a lot of grape. It's just this kind of easy, buttery sip. I like it. Yeah, really interesting. This one comes in at 95 proof. I would have never guessed 95 proof. This just is smooth and easy. Interesting. So it's a distilled wine and then aged in bourbon barrels. Maybe that's what I'm getting. Maybe that butteriness is a little bit of that barrel influence. I don't really, maybe a little bit of a bourbon note underneath that. More so on the nose than on the palate. Now that I've read it, a little bit of that oakiness too. But that is super crushable. Try this. I think you'll like it. Super nice. All right, so the last one is their 10th Mountain Spirits Alpenglow Saged Infused Peach Vanilla Cordial. Got the little skis on the side there. That's cute. 10thcordial.com proudly supports ValeVeteransProgram.org and WoundedWarriorProject.org. Oh, something that I wanted to mention too, another nice thing about 10th Mountain. If you go to their website, they are very charitable. They support a ton of veterans organizations. And again, I tip my cap to them for what they do. Some of their proceeds go to supporting those organizations, and I think that's awesome. So, I don't know what this is made out of. It's fun. I kind of do so many whiskey tastings that it is kind of fun to kind of step out of that same old. Nice dark color, like a copper color. Very sweet. Get a little bit of that sage in there too, but very sweet. Tons of vanilla, almost like a little bit of a, I'm trying to think what I get there. Vanilla, a little honey, maybe a little lavender too. I don't think there's any lavender in that. Sage infused peach vanilla. I don't get much peach. All right, so that one's pretty sweet. Probably more sweet than what I would typically, prefer. Almost too sweet for cocktail. Maybe for me personally, not that it's bad, it's just really sweet, that maybe this might not be an interesting ingredient in a cocktail. I'll have to think about that. Mix this together with their single malt or maybe with some bourbon. but for me, I think maybe it would be great as like a secondary sweetener. Might be good in old fashioned. But again, if you're looking for something a little bit, I think this is lower in proof, right? Yeah, this is 35% ABV. So, if you're looking for a cordial, maybe it's something good as an after dinner drink. It's certainly tasty, and again, if you're not like into whiskey, if you're liking something more on the sweet side, I think this would be really good. But I think I'll come back with another video at some point. Maybe we can get some cocktail recipes, or if anybody has a suggestion, drop them in the comments as well. Because I think that could be a good, sort of maybe a base for something else. So as far as what I like here, I like them all, I suppose. Vodka, surprisingly sweet, pleasant. You can act as a sipping vodka if that's a thing. But the single malt is right, I think, right down kind of the center line of what you'd want from a good American single malt whiskey. It's got the right fruitiness. It's got the right chocolate notes. At 90 proof, it's really sippable. And if you're a bourbon drinker following this channel, and you're willing to give something a try in the American single malt range, I think this is like not. It's going to still have some familiar notes, and I think you'd like it. So overall, big shout out to the folks at 10th Mountain for sending me out these samples. I appreciate you guys. They're really good. I've got some interesting things now on my bar that I could share with my friends, when we kind of get like, bourboned out. So it's kind of cool. So as always, if you like this kind of content, I would really appreciate if you would give me a follow. I'm trying to build the channel, obviously, trying to reach out to more people, maybe recommend my channel, my Bourbon Barry channel to your friends as well. And as always, I'm looking for comments, suggestions, things that are the content that you want to. As always, thanks for watching. See you soon. Cheers.